Hello everybody, how are you? Today we will revision the calculus of grade 10, okay? Starting by summary of the content. Firstly, rate of change. Rate of change contains of 3 points, okay? Point number 1 is a variation function. Point number 2, average rate of change. And point number 3 is a rate of change, okay? Firstly, what is the variation function? We have two rules. Firstly, the variation function is f of x plus 1, x over x1 plus h minus f of x1. And it's called a variation function. Okay? And a variation value is f of x2 minus f of x1, a new value minus the old value. Okay? For example, if the function f of x equal 3x plus 7, I want to find the variation function of f of x when x equal to, okay, then to find the h must be here f of 2 plus h minus f of 2, okay, x1 plus h minus f of x1, this rule. Put hx equal to plus h, 3 multiply 2 plus h plus 7, minus put hx equal to 3 multiply 2 plus 7. Okay, that's two values I have. 3 multiply 2, it will be 6, plus 3 multiply h, 3h plus 7, minus 3 multiply 2, 6, 6 plus 7 is 13. The value, it will be 3h. Then f of x is 3h. That's a value of a variation function. It's a value of variation function. But if I wanted to find the variation value from x1 to x2, from x2 to x1, or x1 to x2, you have a new value minus the old value, function of a new value minus function of old value. Step number 2, average rate of change. Average rate of change, I can denote it by AH. How can I find it? After finding the variation function, divided it by h. Dividing it by h. Yani in the previous example, I can find AH, that's VH equals 3h. Then average rate of change, it will be 3h over h. It will be 3. Okay, يبقى average rate of change is a division of a variation function over h. And I can also find the average rate of change from x1 to x2. Yeah, هنجيب delta y اللي هي f of x2 minus f of x1 over delta x, the change in y over a change in x. And it's called average rate of change from x1 to x2. Average rate of change from x1 to x2 equal delta y over delta x. F of x2 minus f of x1 over x2 minus x1. Next step, the rate of change. What is the rate of change? Is the limit of average rate of change function when h approaches to 0. In the average rate of change function, put hh equal to 0. It's called a rate of change. And I can substitute all of these steps by a derivative. We know after that a rate of change is a derivative of a function. Okay, but in some examples he asked me about a variation function or average rate of change. Then I must know the rules, the steps of it. But if I want to find the rate of change, I can make a derivative. Okay, a second lesson in our content called talk about a differentiability, when the function can be differentiability or can't be. Okay, previous to before we go to the point of differentiability, we must before discuss the continuous. Firstly, must be the function, it will be exist. How it will be exist? If f of x, f of a positive equal f of a negative. If they are equal in less than the number or greater than the number, they are equal, then the function is exist. Secondly, continuous. When f of a positive equal f of a negative equal f of a. Okay, in the first term, we talk about this, it will be continuous. Okay. When the function be continuous, I can discuss differentiability, but the function, if not continuous, then it can't be differentiable ever. Okay. But if the function is continuous, it's not necessary to be differentiable. Can be continuous but not differentiable. But it can't be differentiability if the function is not continuous. If continuous is the first step of differentiable, we can't go to the differentiable if the function is not continuous. Okay. يبقى f dash اللي derivative of a function a positive equal derivative of a function at a negative, then the function is differentiable. Okay. At x equal a. But if they are not equal, then the function is not differentiable. But firstly, I must sure in a continuous condition. The relation between differentiable and continuous is a function differentiable, then it must be continuous. Okay, if the function is differentiable at a, then it must be continuous at this point. The discussion of continuity or differentiability in a function at the point, we know that the function must be defined at this point. Firstly, أول حاجة لازم تكون defined by at this point. This point must belong to the domain of the function. Okay. Number two, the function is continuous at a point. Then it's not to be necessary or not necessary to be differentiable at this point. Yani it can't be continuous. It can be continuous, but not differentiability. Okay, that's okay, no problem. But if the function is differentiable at a point, then it must be continuous at this point. يعني no way ان الفانكشن تكون differentiable وما تكونش continuous. No. عشان اوصل step differentiable I must be cross على continuous. لازم. ماشي يا ولاد؟ يبقى if the function is not continuous يبقى can't be differentiable ever. يعني انا ما وصلتش للcontinuous يبقى ما اقدرش اكمل differentiable. Okay. Next, the derivative. How can I find the derivative of a function? Firstly, if the function is constant one, f of x equal a number, then its derivative is 0, like this. If f of x equal 4, then its derivative is 0. If f of x equal 25 sine angle, no x here, no x, then it's constant. No x, then is a constant. Then its derivative is 0. The derivative of a function to the any power like x power n, put the power here forward the number and subtract the power -1. Subtract the power -1. Okay, like this example, x power 4, put forward the number, it will be 4x, and -1 from the power, it will be 4 - 1, it will be 3. Okay, like here, -5 over 2x power -5 over 2, -5 over 2 forward the number, and -1, it will be -7 over 2. If I have a coefficient of a number not equal to 1, if the coefficient of x not equal to 1, then the power will multiply by this coefficient, and then -1 from the power. Like this example, if f of x equal to multiply x power 5, 5 multiplied by 2, it will be 10, and x, the power -1, يبقى 5 - 1, it will be 4. If the function is 6 root x, I can write root like power half. Then I have 6x power half. Half multiplied by x, it will be 3, and then minus half by -1, subtract 1 from the power, half -1, it will be -half. And I can write it as a root a second time. Okay. If y equal x square, multiply cubic root of x square, and cubic root of x square, I can write it as x to power 2 over 3. Multiply by x power 2, adding the power, it will be 8 over 3. 8 over 3 forward x, and then -1, it will be 5 over 3. derivative of the product of the two functions. If I have a product of two functions, like two brackets like this, y equal x plus 5 multiply 2x minus 1. It's a product of a two function. How can I find the derivative of it? Any one of them, I can make a derivative of it, and the other, it will be as it is. And then adding and switch. Like if I have y equal f of x multiplied g of x, then f of x can be as it is, and then derivative of the other plus switch. Like, for example, here, y dash equal, I can put x plus 5 as it is, and the derivative is second one. 2x plus 1, its derivative is 2, plus, and switch. 2x plus 1 as it is without any derivative, and then derivative the other one is 1. Okay, يبقى derivative, يبقى I have two equations, one of them make a derivative and the other as it is, plus بعد كده switch. يعني اللي عملنا لها derivative خلاص تنزل، واللي ما عملناش derivative بنعمل derivative. اوكي، يبقى first زي ما هو، with derivative of second plus second and derivative of first. طب derivative of the quotient of the two function divided. If I have two function divided, yep, like y equal f of x over g of x. How can I find derivative denominator multiply derivative of numerator minus، يبقى بنبقى denominator firstly and the derivative of numerator minus numerator multiply derivative of denominator over denominator square. That's a rule. Okay, chain rule like I have a function y in z. Y is a function in z, and z is a function in x. I want to find derivative of y with respect to x. Then, firstly, I must find derivative of y with respect to z multiplied by derivative of z with respect to x. يبقى here I want to find value of derivative of y with respect to x. I will make it into two steps. Step number one, derivative of y with respect to z, and z derivative of z with respect to x. If the function have a power, all of the function have a power, like y equal a big bracket 2x squared minus 5x plus 1 to the power 3. How can I find the derivative here? I make a derivative in two steps. Step number one, take a power out of the bracket, 3 out, and bracket as it is to the power 2, multiply by the derivative of the inner bracket. 2 multiply 2, it will be 4x minus 5. Okay, يبقى in two steps, take a power forward the bracket and make a power minus 1, and then make a derivative of the inner bracket. Okay, يبقى n bracket n minus 1 multiply derivative inside the bracket. If a function equal root, y equal root of the function, I can find the derivative by making 1 over 2 multiply the root, multiply the derivative inside the root. 1 over 2 multiplied by root, multiply derivative inside the root. Here I have a corollary. If y equal f of x is a differentiable function with respect to x, then I can find the derivative of this function y to the power n by n forward the function and the power minus 1, multiply the derivative of y with respect to x. Here I have y power 3. I want to find the derivative of it. For example, it will be 3 and y to the power 2, multiply derivative of y with respect to x. But if I have d x power 3, it will be 3x power 2. But why? Because here I have dx over dx. Dx over dx equal to 1. Then it is not important to written. But here I have dy over dx. It must be written because it's not equal to 1. The equation of tangent and normal to the curve. How can I find the equation of tangent and normal? Firstly, I must have a slope, point on the line, point on the curve, and the slope of this tangent. Okay. Then the equation of tangent y minus y1 and x1 is the points on the curve, and m is a slope. Y minus y1 equal x equal m multiply x minus x1. Okay, that's a tangent of the curve like this. If I have x-axis and y-axis like this is a curve, and this point, it's a tangent. Okay, يبقى this point is x1 y1. Okay, and m is the slope of the tangent, slope of the line. Y minus y1 equal m multiply x minus x1. The equation of normal. Where is the normal? That's a tangent. Normal is a perpendicular on it. That's a normal, a perpendicular line on the tangent. Y minus y1 equal negative 1 over m, because there are perpendicular. The two perpendicular lines, there are the slopes, their slopes, a product of their slopes equal negative 1. Yet first slope is m, our slope of tangent equal to m, then the slope of normal equal negative 1 over m. Like if the slope of a tangent 3 over 4, then slope of, here is a tangent and here is a normal. Slope of normal, it will be change sign and reciprocal. Change sign, it will be negative 3 over 4, it will be 4 over 3. Yeah, if the slope of tangent 3 over 4, then the slope of normal is negative 4 over 3. Change sign and reciprocal, because there are perpendicular lines. Okay. Integration. Integration of any function. Integration is the inverse operation of derivative. Okay. Integration is the opposite operation of integration of derivative. Sorry. If I want the integrate of x power n dx equal what? Adding 1 to the power, and then divided by a new one. Like if I want integration of x power 5 dx, it will be x power 6 over 6, adding 1 to the power and divide by a new one, plus a constant. Don't forget a constant. Okay, it's a very important. Plus a constant. Integration of a constant. Yes. Integration of a f of x. Integration of a constant multiplier function. I can put a constant out of the integration operation. Like this example, integration of 6x squared dx. I can put 6 out of the integration and then make integration of x squared. It will be 6 multiply x power 3 over 3. Add 1 to the power and divided by a new power. And don't forget a constant. It's very important. Okay. Here, integration of two functions, adding or subtracting of the two functions. I can separate the integration of the two functions, each one alone. Yeah, if I have here integration of 2x cubed plus 4x, I can make integrate of the first plus integrate of the second, each one alone. Integrate 2x power 3 in the first part and integrate 4x in a second part. Firstly, 2x power 3, adding 1 to the power and divided by a new 1, it will be half x power 4. Here, similar to the first part, adding 1 to the power and divided by a new 1, it will be 2x squared. You have x power 4 plus 2x squared. I have two constants from the two operations. I can put it as one constant. I can put them as one constant, okay? Here, integrate of a bracket to the power n. Integrate of the bracket to the power n. I have two steps. I have two rules in this part. Number 1 and number 2. If the integration of a bracket to power n, that's all, then make a bracket to power n plus 1. over a new bracket, over a new power, multiply derivative of, if here is f of x, then derivative of the inner bracket plus a constant. Okay, but if the integration f of x to the power n multiplied by the derivative of the function, then put a bracket to the power n plus 1 over n plus 1 only. Don't put the multiply the derivative in the denominator. Okay, why? Because I have a derivative here, then I didn't put it here in the denominator. Yeah, if I have a bracket to the power only without any other brackets, then the integration, it will be f of x to the power n plus 1 over n plus 1 multiply the derivative of inner bracket. But if the integrate have a function to the power and multiplied by the derivative of the inner bracket, then the result, it will be the function to the power n plus 1 over n plus 1 only without any multiplying by a derivative. Okay, I have two cases, don't forget. Come on, let's do solve. The variation in the function f equal 1.4 when the x change from 3 to x 3.2. Then the average rate of change equal what? Look here, average rate of change equal delta y over delta x. Okay, equal f of x2 minus f of x1 over x2 minus x1. He said that the variation value from is 1.4. يبقى this variation, it means what? What is the variation function? It means delta y equal 1.4. It will be 1.4 over x2 minus x1. Here, x change from 3 to 3.2. 3 is x1 and 3.2 is x2. Then 3.2 minus 3, it will be what? 1.4 over 3.2 minus 3. It will be 7. 7. Then the average rate of change equal to 7. The next one, the equation of the tangent. I want to find the equation of the tangent to the curve 3x squared minus 8 at the point 2 and 4 equal what? Okay, firstly, I must find dy over dx. The derivative. Derivative is refers to slope. Okay, 3x squared minus 8 equal derivative 2 multiplied by 3, it will be 6. And subtract 1 from the power, it will be x power 1. 8 is a constant, its derivative is 0. dy over dx, it will be 6x. I want to find the slope. Put x equal to. Here, put x equal to. 6 multiplied by 2, it will be 12. That's the slope of the line. Then, the equation of a tangent, y minus y1 equals slope multiplied by x minus x1. Y is a constant minus y1. This point is x1 and y1. يبقى y minus 4 equals the slope equal 12, x minus x1 later. Y minus 4 equal, expand this bracket, 12 multiply x, 12x, 12 multiply 2, it will be 24. Simplify this equation, it will be 12x minus y, 4, negative 4, go to the other side by, I can put it right, okay, y, go to the other side by negative y, and the 24, go to the other side by plus 24. Negative 4 plus 24, it will be 20. This is the equation of tangent. Number C. This is the right answer. Okay. Next. if integration of x to the power k dx equals third x cube plus constant, then k equal what? Look here, x power k. Integrate, make the power, add 1 over the new power. Rule, look here, x power n dx. It will be x power n plus 1 over n plus 1 plus c. Here, the value of k, n here equal k. n plus 1, what the new power is, it will be 3. n plus 1, it will be 3. Then n equal what? Equal 2. يبقى k, the power here is 2. And then after we adding 1, it will be 3. يبقى the power is 2. Next, the slope of tangent to this curve at x equal 2 equal what? We said that the slope is a derivative. Slope is a derivative of the function. Then dy over dx, it will be the derivative here is 3x squared, it will be 6x. How? 2 multiply 3, it will be 6. And subtract 1 from the power, it will be x power 1. Plus 2x, here the power is 1. 1 multiplied by x, 2, it will be 2. And the power minus 1, it will be x power 0. We didn't write it. Plus 1 is a constant. Its derivative is 0. Then the slope is 6x plus 2. If I put x equal to find the value of a slope, 6 multiply 2 plus 2. 6 multiply 2 is 12. 12 plus 2 is 14. يبقى slope of a tangent is 14. Slope of a tangent is 14. Okay, that's the slope of tangent. If I want the slope of normal, here he didn't want it, but if I wanted to find slope of normal, what can I do? Slope of normal, remember? Normal is perpendicular to tangent. Normal is perpendicular to tangent. And if the first slope is m, then the second one is negative 1 over m. It's the first slope is m, then the second one negative 1 over m. Yeah, the slope of tangent is 14, then the slope of normal negative 1 over 14. It is not required here, but I want to find it, okay? Here, I want to find the integration of this bracket, okay, this expression. Firstly, I can't find the integrate of multiply parts. Here, x squared multiplied by a bracket 4x plus 1 over x squared. I can't find integration in this case. I must firstly simplify this bracket, this expression. I must simplify it firstly and then find the integration. Make a product. X squared multiply 4x, expand this bracket, make a product. X squared multiply 4x, it will be 4x power 3. It's a first term, minus x squared multiply 1 over x squared. Look, x squared multiply 1 over x squared. I can simplify x squared, then the result it will be 1. Product here is 1. In this case, I can find integration easier, okay? I will make integrate of 4x power 3 dx minus integrate of 1 dx. يبقى separate the integration of the two terms. Integrate of a first term minus integrate of a second term. Here, integration make what? Adding 1 to the power and divided by a new one. يبقى 4x adding 1 for this power 3 adding 1, it will be power 4 over a new power minus 1, any constant. This it's integrate, يعني I want to find integrate, or I want to integrate a constant value, put x, just that. Any constant I wanted to integrate it, put x. يبقى integration of 1 is 1x. Okay, plus a constant. Don't forget the constant. Here, 4, I can cancel it with 4. X power 4 minus x plus c. Here he writes c. in the example, then the answer is x power 4 minus x. If y equals z plus 3, z plus 1 to the power 3, and z equal x power 5 minus 1, I want to find dy by dx. It's a chain rule. It's a chain rule. I want to find the derivative of y with respect to x, but I didn't have equation from y to x. I have z between them. Firstly, I must to find dy by dz, and then dz by dx, and then product them to find dy by dx. Okay, step number 1, make a derivative. Here, derivative of a bracket have a power. I will make a derivative in 2 steps. Step number 1, put 3 out of the bracket and put the bracket as it is. Subtract 1 from the power 3, it will be power 2. It's a first step. Second step, multiply a derivative of the inner bracket. Z plus 1, its derivative is z, its derivative is 1, and 1, its derivative is 0. Then the result is 3 multiply z plus 1 to the power 2. Okay, a second step, dz multiply dx, derivative of z with respect to x. Okay, I have a function z equal x power 5, x power 5 minus 1. It's a function. I want to find its derivative with respect to x. X power 5, put it forward x, and then subtract 1 from the power. It will be x power 4. 1 is a constant. Its derivative is 0. Okay? Yep. I find dy by dx and dz by dx. Then I want to find dy by dx. The product of them, dy over dz multiply dz over dx. A first expression is 3 multiply z plus 1 square. Multiply a second expression is 5x power 4. Come on, equal 3. 3 multiply 5, it will be 15. X power 4 multiply z plus 1 square. Z, I will substitute it by this value, x power 5 minus 1 plus 1 all to the power 2. يبقى 15 x power 4. I can cancel negative 1, positive 1. I can cancel them. X power 2, power 5, power 2. I can product the two powers. It will be x power 10. In multiply, adding the power, x power 14, sorry, 14, not 15. 15 x power 14. Adding the power 4 plus 10, it will be 14. The answer is 15x power 14. Okay. Integrate of this expression. I can't find integration of a fraction. I can't find integration of a fraction. Okay. I must simplify that firstly. How can I simplify this form? Look. At first, think the numerator. I can factorize the denominator. I can factorize it. How? Make it as a 2 brackets, x squared, it will be x and x. I can factorize this by calculator or by mind, no problem. It will be x minus 2 and x minus 3. Okay, factorize. In the denominator, I will write x minus 2 as it is. That's clear now. I can simplify the numerator and the denominator together. It will be integrate x minus 3 dx. then I can integrate this expression. X, I will add the power 1 and divide by the new power minus. It's a constant. Any constant, if I wanted to integrate it, just put x, 3x. Don't forget a constant. Half x squared minus 3x plus a constant. That's one. This one. Number C. Okay. Next, the average rate of change of a function f of x equal x squared plus 1 when x change from 2 to 2.5 equal what? We said before, average rate of change is delta y over delta x. Okay. Delta y is f of x2 minus f of x1 over x2 minus x1. Here, x change from 2 to 2.5. That's mean x1 is 2, it's a first value, and a new value is 2.5. Substitute by 2 and 2.5 here. F of x2, in this function, I will put x equal the value of x2, 2.5. 2.5 square plus 1. That's a first practically f of x2 minus f of x1. I will put x equal the value of x1, which equal 2. 2 square plus 1 over x2 minus x1. x2, 2.5 minus x1, 2 equal 2.5 square plus 1, first value, equals 7.25 minus 2 square plus 1, second bracket is 5 over 2.5 minus 2, 0.5. Then the answer is 7.25 minus 5 over half. It will be 4.5. That's a rate of a change when x changes from 2 to 2.5. Okay, 4.5. Next, derivative of tan pi over 4. Don't forget, tan pi over 4 has no x here, has no x here. Then it's a constant value. And we know that any constant value, its derivative is, right, 0. Okay, its derivative is 0 because it's a constant value. Why is a constant? Because no x here, no x. Tan pi over 4, it's a number. Pi is equal 180. Tan 180 over 4, that's mean tan 45, which equal to 1. And the derivative of a 1, derivative of 1 of, or derivative of any number, it will be a 0. Okay. Next one. If the function f defined by two rules. A first one is x squared minus 4 when the x have a value greater than 2. And a second value is ax minus b when x have a value less than or equal to. He said that it's differentiable at x equal to. It's differentiable means it's continuous and differentiable, each of them. Then b minus a equal what? Okay. Here, function is differentiable, that means it's continuous. What's the meaning of continuous? F of 2 positive equal f of 2 negative. Okay, I can use this. 2 positive more than 2 is a first one. Put here x equal to 2 square minus 4 equal. Put here x equal to 2a minus b. 2 square minus 4 equal to 0. Then 2a minus b equals 0. That's a first equation I have. Have it from continuous. From differentiability. F dash of 2 positive equal f dash of 2 negative. Okay, derivative here is 2x equal. Derivative here is a. Put x equal 2. 2 multiply 2 equal a. Then a equal to 4. Substitute by this value in the first equation. 2 multiply a, 8. 2 multiply 4 minus b equals 0. Then b equal 8. Yeah, that's the value of a and it's the value of b. I want to find b minus a. b is 8 minus a is 4. 8 minus 4 equal to 4. That's okay. That's b minus a. Next one. If f of x equal root x squared plus 9, then f dash of negative 4 equal what? Okay. I can use the rule y dash equal, or f of dash equal 1 over 2 and root as it is, multiply the derivative of the inner bracket under the root. X squared plus 9, its derivative is 2x. That's a derivative. Okay, I can simplify it. 2 cancel with 2. It will be x over root x squared plus 9. That's a derivative. I want to find the value of this derivative when x equal to negative 4. Find the value of derivative when x equal negative 4. Put x equal negative 4. Root negative 4 all to the power 2 plus 9. Negative 4 over root 25. Negative 4 squared 16. 16 plus 9 is 25. It will be negative 4 over 5. That's answer. Next, derivative of this expression. I can simplify this expression first before making a derivative. How? I can distribute the division on the of the denominator on numerator, like x power 2 over x plus 2x over x. يبقى each term in numerator I can divide it by a denominator alone. d over dx, x squared over x, it will be x. 2x over x, it will be 2. Make a derivative here. Derivative of x is 1 and the derivative of 2 is 0. Then the derivative here is 1. Derivative of all of this expression is 1. Okay. The next one. If f of x equal 5 multiply g of x plus 20. I want to find derivative of gx or g dash of x. We make a derivative of this equation. I have f of x equal 5 g of x plus 20. Make a derivative. F of x, it will be f dash equal 5gx, 5 as it is, and the derivative a g. 20, its derivative is 0, is a constant. Its derivative is 0. Here I wanted to find g dash. I want to find g dash. 5 go to the other side by division. F dash of x divided by 5. That means fifths of f dash. Fifths of f dash. Answer is number D. Next, integrate of 3x squared. Adding 1 to the power and divided the new one. 3x. Add 1 to the power, it will be 3, and divided by a new power. Don't forget a constant. 3 cancelled with 3, it will be x power 3. Don't forget the constant. Look here, number A is the right answer. Number D is a trick. X power 3, if you forget the constant, you will choose number D, and that's wrong. Don't forget the constant. In integration is a very important part in the example. Okay. Integration of 2x plus L1 to the power 5. Here I have a bracket to the power. No multiplied by a derivative. Okay. Then the integration is put a bracket as it is, adding 1 to the power, divided by new power, multiply derivative of the inner bracket. 2x plus 1, its derivative is 2. Then the answer is 1 over 6 multiplied 2 is 12. Multiply 2x plus 1 to the power 6. Don't forget the constant. I forget it here, but you don't forget it, okay? It's number D. Here, integration of the product of the two brackets. I can't find the product, the integration of the product. Firstly, I must simplify this product. Okay, make a product first. X plus 2 and x minus 2, there are two conjugate numbers. I can find their product firstly. Okay, how? X multiply x and 2 multiply negative 2. There are conjugate. It will be x squared minus 4. Difference between two squares. Two conjugate number. When I multiply it, there will be is a difference between two squares. Okay, dx. Make integration. X add 1 to the power and divide it by the new one. Any number, any constant number, its derivative, I will put x, okay, before x. Don't forget a constant. Don't forget a constant. Okay, here write a constant here. You write a constant here. Then the answer, it will be x power 3 over 3 minus 4x. It's number B. Third x cube minus 4x. The next, integrate cosine by over 3. Okay, we have another example of derivative tan by over 4. Okay, a derivative, any constant number is 0. Here, integrate of a constant number. We said that integrate any constant number, I will put x, not else, okay, plus a constant. Don't forget constant. Here, cosine by over 3 is a constant, is a number, okay? Then I just put x. I didn't have any answer here like this, okay? Cosine by over 3, we said that by is 180, cosine 180 over 3, it will be half. يبقى all of this equal half x plus c. Answer number C. Okay, next. Derivative of cubic root of x squared. Firstly, I can write cubic root of x squared as a power, a fraction power, 2 over 3. Power as it is and the degree of root like denominator. Make a derivative. 2 over 3 forward the number and x minus 1. 2 over 3 minus 1. يبقى subtract a 1 from the power. Negative 1 over 3. Simplify it. I have 2 over 3. X to the power negative third. To cancel negative, I will put x in the denominator. X power third in denominator. And then x to the power fraction, I can write it as a cubic root of x. 2 over 3 cubic root of x. Number C. Next one. Here, f of x equals 3x squared plus 2 is a function. I want to find rate of a change of this function at x equal to. Okay, rate of a change here, he didn't ask me about, variation function. He didn't ask me about average rate of change. Then I can find rate of change in one step. Okay, how we know that? Rate of change is a derivative. Make a derivative here. F dash of x is a rate of change, which equal 3x squared plus 2. It will be 2 multiplied 3 is 6x, and 2 it will be 0. That's the rate of change. When x equal 2, put x equal 2, then rate of change is 6 multiplied 2. It will be 12. يبقى rate of change of this function at x equal 2 is equal to 12. Okay, that's all. Thank you, and I hope it will be useful for you. Thank you. Goodbye.